Good morning from Austin. We're going to do the show outside today. It's going to be a beautiful 90-degree day, and we have a little sports to catch up on. Kind of some follow-ups on stories we've been going over, and I've been trolling Instagram as I do daily to kind of find my favorite things. But the top of the list is Aaron, our good buddy from college, went to the final A's game yesterday afternoon in Oakland. And I just saw a picture online that they've already removed home plate. More dirt, I'm sure, was given away, and the A's came away with a victory, 3-2 over the Rangers. The final play at the Coliseum was a ground out to short. So, I think they ended the year 69-90. I think that's right, 69-90. They, maybe they have road games. Honestly, I'm not sure. I think that was the final game of the season, and that's the A's. Like, it just kind of out with a whimper. They'll now be heading to Sacramento, so if you have season tickets for the A's, that's where you're gonna watch them play. I'm here for got here yesterday, so the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday to get back to the shop. This is the annual boys trip. We pick a city, and we've been doing this, I think, 18 years. The guys that I've been friends with in the band, they were the first ones to start it. I joined some point toward the middle or the early half of these trips to watch Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers came out in 2001. One of the best series to ever grace television. Now the internet, Netflix, it's an HBO special, it's 10 episodes. So what we do is we get together, we watch every single episode, and in between we try out the local fare, we hit the bars, see what's going on in the city. Like, we loved Austin so much last year that I said, hey, why not come back and do it again? It's pretty central for everybody. A lot of people on the West Coast, I'm all the way on the East Coast, and that's why we're here. I'm going to enjoy these 90-degree days before I go back to Maine, where it's quickly becoming fall. And the weather is, having a mind of its own. It's New England. But this isn't a weather channel, so I want to get back into the sports. A story that I saw posted, this is from COVID, so I'm guessing 2020, 2021, they're still playing baseball, but John Fisher, owner of the A's, here's the story to remember, and this is from Elite Dingers. The only John Fisher story you need to remember: during COVID, he tried to stop paying minor leaguers $400 a week. And if you remember, during COVID, the government was literally giving people money, and this guy didn't want to pay his minor leaguers $400 a week. So Shin-Soo Choo, the Rangers DH, gave all 191 Ranger players in the MILB $1,000. So a player was more generous than a billionaire owner. And that's all you need to know about the A's ownership. It's just too bad. Like, you're not seeing the big picture. I don't understand. If you've got that much money, how are you pinching pennies? Like, you're not seeing the long term of how you treat your employees, how you treat your people. Will come back to you tenfold if you treat them right. And clearly something wrong with John Fisher, not a great owner, and proving it because he won't come out in public and really talk about the real issues, because he just wants to get his money. And I don't really know, not a great guy. I figured that was worthy of talking about. I mean, a player giving every 191 of the minor league players $1,000. That is incredible. There is now apparently a lawsuit on the Ohtani ball. I can't remember if we've talked about this yet, but there's a kid, Max, I believe is his name, and there's video footage of his arm. Well, he's got one cell phone in one hand and the other arm basically in this guy's crotch, like grabbing for the ball. The guy who came away with the ball, that gave it to Ken Golden to start the bidding at $500,000. And this kid is claiming that it was wrestled away from him and it's rightfully his and he was the first owner of it. But I don't know, watching the footage, this is going to be a hard lawsuit for the kid to win, I think. I don't know if he has grounds to stand on. Because I guess his thought is, well, if I don't pursue some legal action, I'm getting no money. And on the other hand, yeah, if you don't pursue legal action, you get no money. But also, you could just say, finders keepers. I mean, possession is 9/10 of the law. So you got that. And on top of that, I think about it like it's like football. What is a catch? If you come away with the ball and you secure it through the ground, through the contact, and it doesn't rumble around and it doesn't move around, it's a catch. So I think in the video it shows it's a catch. The guy that gave it to Ken Golden to auction, the bidding starting at $500,000, I think it's rightfully his. Of course, this is just becoming wild that every single home run ball is now like this golden ticket. Collectibles, I'm telling you, this industry is pretty crazy. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if the ball is going to get tangled up in, legal proceedings, and therefore whoever wins it's going to have to wait to get it. And is Ken Golden going to have to wait to get his money? I don't know. But I'm glad it's with Golden. He seems to be the most consistent, like long-term, I guess they're not an auction house. Yeah, they're an auction house, consignment, like company. So that's a little more baseball. We're always talking baseball. Then we had football game last night. Weedham boys, Cowboys, got the win over the Giants. It wasn't a super memorable game. I think the kicker had a chance to get the Cowboys lead to above 5 to like 8, and he missed like a really short kick after hitting a bunch of 65-yard, not a bunch, but after hitting a 65-yard field goal. And so you think, man, that Vegas 5.5 spread, Vegas always knows. They always know. So just remember that. Like, I'm thinking now my new betting strategy is whatever the line is, I should bet that something bad is going to happen. But I don't know if that means to bet under or over. But Vegas is typically right. Celtics, tons of Instagram posts. I'm getting so jacked up for that season. That's going to be very, very exciting. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum look like they're in rare form, ready to go. Yeah, just down here trying to do my best Pat McAfee impression. Enjoy the weather, enjoy a little coffee. I think I had a couple other things I was going to touch on. Like, it is weird being away from the shop. I really enjoy getting to travel and hang out. You know, it's fun. I like traveling, and especially like to meet up with my guys. And I feel like it's an important investment to make. That if you have a chance to hang out with your friends that you don't see, like I don't see any of these guys all year. If you get that opportunity, you got to take it. You got to prioritize. You got to, do whatever you can, because life is really short. And, between my health scare last year and just knowing that someday you won't get to see these people again, like you got to live in the present. And that's what I love about sports. You get to live in the moment. Like, it's exciting. Every weekend, like coming in Sunday, knowing that Tim and Andre are going to be there and we're going to put down our silly $1 bets to make 40 grand. Like, that's fun. It's the excitement and the camaraderie, and it's like brotherhood. Like, that's what it's about. And that's kind of the theme of the whole Band of Brothers weekend, is that, like, trying to keep the camaraderie. That's the key. Like, you don't force anybody to do anything, but the one thing you do is you do force everybody to get together, and then you try to do things together. And we're far removed from college now. That was nearly 20 years ago. And so we don't do all the same things. Like, we're not doing keg stands and all this silly stuff. But we still like to get together and hang and be the boys. throw a couple back, and a lot of reminiscing, a lot of trash talk, and just, yeah, I don't know. It's a rare because a lot of the guys have, like everybody has families and kids, and I'm the only one that doesn't. So I'm the most flexible, but to get everybody in the same room, you got to appreciate it and try to live in the moment and limit the phone time, right? You know, I know I'm preaching now, but limit it. It's not going to be nothing, but limit the phone time. You have more fun. I've been avoiding the elephant in the room, which is the game tomorrow. The elephant, Alabama, Georgia, 4-2, T-Town, night game. It's going to be electric. Of course, I hope we get out to a big lead and hold it. But I just want to come away with a win. I think there's going to be just game days there. A ton of people are going to be talking about it. Roll Tide Willie's going to be talking about it. And, you know, it was a game I wanted to go to, but I didn't want to miss this weekend. So I opted to do this weekend instead. Of course, like anything that came up on my calendar, I kind of set it aside and said, nope, like this is the time that I'm going to go hang with the guys. The A's thing is just such a bummer. It really is. Hopefully I'm going to get to chat with Aaron. I'll try to get a little soundbite from him for the show. I may or may not get that. We'll see. We may cut it here, but if not, if I do, I'll put it right at the end. From a real true A's fan who got to witness the final game at the Coliseum. And like I said yesterday, probably day before, I've witnessed many games there. Fun, just a lot of fun. You know, cheap, wasn't expensive. I'm guessing that A's tickets in Vegas are going to be super pricey, and all these stadiums are just becoming theme parks. And I don't know if people are willing to pay more, but it's like in your head you justify paying more because of all the amenities, because of all these things that are available to you at the ballpark. And I like Fenway, of course, biased Red Sox fan, but because I just got to go to the ballpark for, I remember going with my dad, $20 a ticket, same day, pull up, obstructed views, and we weren't very good, so you could move around, similar to the A's. Like, you knew the price of a ticket wasn't going to be more than $20, and you know, the food and the concessions and the beverages, like the prices all went up because of inflation. But you know, there was a time when baseball was like a cheap date. It was a fun thing to do, and just been very overcapitalized. I think about like the movie Basketball is a great example of watching capitalism run wild. Like full organizations, they do this whole chart in the beginning of the movie, just moving city to city like multiple times, changing their name, changing their sponsorship, just having sponsors all over the walls. And you know, we legitimately see that. They try to do it tastefully now, but you know, NBA jerseys now have a patch like on from a like Bumble, like the dating site, on I think the Golden State Warriors jersey, or Vistaprint on the Celtics jersey. Like, we're living in basketball now. We just are, because there's so much money. I mean, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are $600 million on the Celtics payroll. That's a ton of money for two players. And I'm not saying they're not worth it, because they are, because championships priceless, but just to put it in perspective, two players, $600 million. It's pretty wild. Wild times we live in. I think that wraps it up for me. It's Friday. We're going to hang. We got some more catching up to do. We got to watch some episodes, get some food, enjoy this day. It's only going to get hotter. I had to knock out this video in the morning before it got super duper hot. So with that, cheers you with my coffee, and roll Tide.